Hello and welcome. I'm Joe Martin, and I'm glad you could join us for today's WPSE podcast. We've got a meaningful conversation ahead with two special guests who are making a big difference in our community. Joining me today are Megan Selensky, Community Relations Specialist at the Community Blood Bank of Northwest Pennsylvania in Western New York, and Mark Bruns, owner and principal agent at the Mark Bruns Insurance Agency and a long-time platelet donor. The Community Blood Bank plays a vital role by connecting generous donors with patients in need of life-saving blood, not just in Erie, but throughout the entire region they serve. Megan and Mark, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you.
Mark, you've been a long-time platelet donor at the Community Blood Bank. What first inspired you to start donating?
I came to Erie in 92. I think what first did was I had saw a call to action in Erie for somebody that needed a bone marrow transplant. So they were doing one of those drives to collect bone marrow. And that just reminded me, the first time I'd ever donated was in college, and saw an ad for the Community Blood Bank shortly thereafter that. So then that's the one I decided to start donating.
And Mark, I understand your involvement goes far beyond just rolling up your sleeves. Can you tell us more about how you support the blood bank in other ways too?
Yeah, I've done fundraising for a different nonprofit for many years, basically on behalf because my prior wife had cancer for 30 years. And so she passed away in 2019, and we were still doing fundraising. And then I thought, after a time, I thought, well, we'd like to do something for a local organization, raise money that's all going to stay in Erie. And so, since I've been giving blood since 1994, to me, it made perfect sense to reach out to the blood bank and see if they were looking for any kind of fundraising help or would like to partner with us to do fundraising. And they were very excited and have been a huge partner in this golf outing that we put together now annually. This will be our third year this year, and they've just been absolutely wonderful to work with. And the results, the increases every year have been just amazing.
Mark, that's fantastic. Now, I hear this year the tournament you're involved with has already sold out. Congratulations for that. But are there other ways for others in the community to get involved or support the cause?
There most certainly is. Yeah, we've got all our teams already, which is incredible. We were filled up a month before the outing and had our teams completely filled up. But yes, anybody, whether it's a business, an individual, can still be a sponsor of the event. The great thing with sponsors is every dollar goes back to the blood bank. So we don't keep any of it. And so they can contact the blood bank, or Megan can let them know, I believe on their website, they can go and be a sponsor. And that's another way that we're going to continue to raise money and have it all go to the blood bank.
Well, it sounds like a fantastic event. Megan, let's turn to you for a moment. What's coming up at the Community Blood Bank in the next few months that our listeners should have on their radar?
Well, we're really trying to encourage donors to come out and donate. During the summertime, we see a dip in donorship. So we're really trying to remind people, even though the weather is getting nicer, hopefully, we want people to still come in and donate. People like Mark are such regular donors, and we're appreciative of them. Mark has actually donated over 40 gallons of blood to the blood bank. So we're really appreciative of our regular donors, but we're also looking for some of those new donors to continue on that work that donors like Mark are doing. So this month in June, we're actually doing a month-long promo. So if you come in and donate, you will be entered to win a pair of kayaks. And of course, we're getting really excited about that golf tournament coming up, Joe.
40 gallons. That is absolutely amazing.
Yes, thank you, Mark,
Yeah,
so much for that.
It's a privilege to be able to do it. I enjoy it. And I guess the one thing I always think about is, as an individual, at some point there'll be a time where I can't donate. So I'm kind of like a race against myself to donate as much as I can before that time ever comes out. Hopefully it's not for another 30 years, but you never know. So I think it's an easy way. It's painless when you go in there. It doesn't take that much time. The staff and everybody at the blood bank's fantastic. They treat you with the utmost respect and care, very kind, and it's just a way to give back to the community.
Thanks again to Mark Bruns, platelet donor and principal agent at the Mark Bruns Insurance Agency, and Megan Selensky, Community Relations Specialist at the Community Blood Bank, for sharing your time and your stories with us today. If you'd like to learn more about how you can give blood or get involved, visit forhearts.org. That's FOUR hearts.org. This has been another WPSE podcast production. Thanks for listening.